Hello everyone. So this is the first question of sociology from the parlance of the student going for the honors examination of different semesters who are having Ambedkar and Gandhiji in their syllabus, and thereafter the very first thing that considers to our society is caste system. I have been told a lot of times that what is caste system, what are the origin of caste system, what are the important question that you can have from caste system, the origin of the caste system, the difference between varna and jati, the difference between the features of caste system. I have told you about dominant caste, sanskritization, and also purity and pollution. I talked about Jajmani system, so I won't go there anymore. Rather, I will strictly come to Gandhi on Harijan. Why Gandhi considered? Because varna system is the color of the society, of the people. So varna is the color that they talked about, and that is what is the Brahmanization, where the head of Brahma is of education, and the arms are the warrior, the stomach are the Vaishyas or the traders, and the continuing part of our body which takes place by the legs, which are the slaves, and they are the Shudras. But there are certain untouchables as well who used to be known as Harijan by Gandhi. That means the children of Lord Hari or Lord Krishna. So thereafter the caste system is always a colonial influence that had a division between the political reformers among themselves, because there are various slangs related to that of untouchables which we denote as to be a part of the fact. Thereafter, Gandhi's philosophy of the spiritual equality regardlessly argued about untouchability to conclude to the secular non-violence as well as social practices where the mainstream society can indulge into the contemporary society. And we have seen that he was also being criticized about his writing during the time of Kildonian Castle, and in the book of Ananda Vajpayee, you will see that how he has been kind of sarcastically made Mahatma by as a Mahatma given title by Rabindranath Tagore when he boycotted the clothes from that of the English people, as well as Charkha system was started, Satyagraha was started. So it was kind of Mahatma, which was not merely title in pleasure or in prestigiousness, rather it was a title in kind of a sarcasm. So thereafter Harijan Sevak Sangha was sung, or Harijan Seva Sangh was being effortively initiated by Harijan Sevak Sangh in 1932, eradicating upon untouchability. Now you see Sudra. In Bengali, we say Nomo Shudro. What is that? Nomo? Why Nomo Shudro? Because that's a slang. Because when a Shudra passes by you, if his sense of air falls on you or his shadow falls on you, we say Nomo. Nomo means we call God. So that is Nomo Shudro is kind of a slang. Shudra is what they actually to be called upon as part the Varna system is considered. Thereafter the temple entry, the education and sanitation, all the sociological reform movements with the resistance of that of the empowerment is always being called as a constitutional safeguard to the constructed struggle. Thereafter, now if I come to the part of Ambedkar, for instance, then I will be talking about what Ambedkar talked about. Ambedkar talked about the annihilation of caste, and very importantly, the social exclusion that he felt. Remember, Ambedkar was from the untouchable groups, and he has been taken or adopted the concept of Ambedkar, which is the Brahmin title, and thereafter continued his studies, and thereafter he became the constitution of our country, constitutional father of our country regarding the reservation of SC, ST and OBCs. But thereafter, don't you think that there can be a kind of a conflict regarding the fact that he, being the socially excluded part, having the opportunity, he made what we call now casting couch, right? So thereafter, the social exclusion, education and empowerment, political mobilization, everything reverberates around caste system and the religious critique which are there. Thereafter, Manu, whom he questioned, Ambedkar questioned, who is Manu to define the characteristics or the occupation of the people regarding the caste system. So that was how it was being made, that who is he to provide the following instruction that what occupation one should occupy. Now, and because of that, now we also have so many rat races, because there was a time of industrial revolution, French revolution, Will Mandelbaum, Baby Bally Baker, they came to India to found that how village serenity is so very tranquil and egalitarian because of the caste system, because we didn't just run across the fact that we are, you know, after any job criteria. Thereafter, annihilation of caste mainly consider the fact that Ambedkar told that, you know, the downtroddenness, the deprivation that the downtrodden people have considered, and even the gender biasness, who are doubly marginalized, for them, they need to be converted into Buddhism. They should be baptized to Buddhism, because Buddhism can consolidate into salvation, and they can submerge and submissively understand the understanding of forgiveness towards their tolerance and become secular. So thereafter, these are all critical analysis which challenges the Hindu orthodoxy within and outside with the relevances, and so forth. Gandhi and Ambedkar in the sociological parlance consists Gandhi with Harijan and Ambedkar with that of Dalit feminism, or Dalit feminism, which can be called a doubly marginalized feminism, and also of the fact that annihilation of caste, one of the most important question upcoming for the coming semester. Thank you so very much. While doing the very first video that I have been going to upload, there are two more questions which I felt very, very important for the upcoming semesters. It's like the resistance and the mobilization change into the sociological parlance, whether it's the Dalit politics or anything that is resistance towards it. So Dalit resistance is kind of a figure, like if you see the Duhas of Kabir about the teachings as well as the particularness of colonial era, where the social reforms are to be performed mainly into the gamut of the drafting of the Indian Constitution. Thereafter, mobilization can be a lot of things. During the post-independence period, the mobilization were somewhat being a federal mobilization, but thereafter political parties had their election and also had political mobilization with that of the formidable forces. And not only that, the grassroots movements were also taking place, like political representation has come to the matter. Women came into the power of decision-making process of the fundamental rights of our country, and thereafter social and cultural change with the contemporary change, and intersectional identity with that of inequality into the economy on the basis of gender biases could be inclusively and holistically strategized over the social justice. And thereafter, there are certain key movements of B.R. Ambedkar, Khansi Ram, Dalit Panthas. These are all things, as well as you could also create the concept of anti-Arab movement, which concluded the part of Dalit politics into a new version of resurrection towards mobilization. So what is social mobility? Social mobility basically talks about vertical, horizontal. You know what is X and Y axis. I need not to tell you that. But what importantly you to know about sociological mobility is the intergenerational and intragenerational. Inter in the sense, like for example, between the two generations. Like for example, my father used to be a farmer. I have become a professor. I have become a professor. Then in that case, I have an intergenerational social status mobility. But in that case, in my case, I became a teacher and I therefore become an assistant professor and thereafter associate professor. So it's intra-generational, within one generation, and inter within two generations. And same goes for vertical and upward or horizontal downward mobility that goes on into the social mobility. Factors which influence that is either the education, the economical agglomeration of the wealth and power, as well as the social human capital that we talk about, and also the cultural norms and regulations that we are much more imbued with. And thereafter the symbolic interactional theory collided with the conflict theory, having an kind of an evolutionary symbolic mechanism to understand the causes of social change, which is not only always conflict and critical, rather with the technological development, with the shifts in the economic inflation and deflation thereafter going on in the prices, and also about the environmental factor or the cultural political movements, or in the strategic management what we call SWOT and PESTLE analysis. SWOT for strength, weakness, opportunities and technological threats, as well as PESTLE, political, economical, social, technological, as well as legal, as well as PESTLE, LEE for environmental dependence on the mobility that contemporary society digitally faces with the emergence of globalization. That's all about the two more important questions that are based on Ambedkar and Gandhiji, along with the part of their balances. Thank you so much, student. I hope this helps you. Thank you.